YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Josh, and I'm here back with another video. And if you're new and you're not subscribed, I definitely recommend subscribing and checking out my content. So as you guys seen from the thumbnail, we're going to be giving him a big chop. We're cutting it all off. His mom says it's time for a new look. So we're going to be giving him a drop fade, and we're going to be cutting his hair to, like, I think it was a number 4 guard that I used and cut his hair down with. But right now I was going in with my scissors and just evening it out, cutting all the hairs as much as I could, getting it low enough so I can start to pick it out and get it going with the guard. So under that long hair, his hair was really curled up and nappy. So I had to go in with my pick and kind of try to pick it out. Well, he's kind of tender-headed, so it was hard for me to do it. He ended up crying. Kind of his eyes were getting real watery on me. I know it hurted, but we had to do it because the guard would not go through this. So I had to at least try to pick it out before I went through it. And we're gonna go in with my number, I think it was my number 5 guard I used. Anyways, we're gonna be cutting his hair down to a number 4 guard, but I'm starting off with bigger guards because I didn't know where I wanted to go with it. And the reason why I didn't go through it with a smaller guard, I know it would have been easier, but his mom wanted this certain height we had to go to, and I wanted to use my bigger guards to get it evenly. Right here, I'm picking it out a little bit more. As we're cutting it down, I'm picking it out more because it's going to make the hair loosen up, and it's going to be easier to cut it down. So every time we go over it with a guard, I'm going to continue cutting, and if I feel like that it's not going good enough, I have to go in and pick it out again. As you guys see, we're getting his hair chopped off. We have to go a little bit time, like each individual steps. I can't just go in and do one big pass. I have to kind of push up against the hair multiple times in one area. But as you guys can see, we're getting it off right here, and you know it's all gone, man. A whole new person. So we're just about done with this area. I'm just making sure it's all even because the hair is kind of nappy. So I want to make sure I stretch all the hairs all the way out and get them cut down because I don't want it to be uneven. You know, it'll defeat the purpose of cutting him down and giving him an even haircut. And right here, I'm going in with my number 4 guard with the clipper all the way open, going with the grain. And this is going to be our last time going over the head. This is the height that we want, and this is the height that we got it to. But you know, it was a process, but we got there. So right here, I'm going in with my number 2 guard with it all the way open, and I'm just going up on the sides, debulking so I can get ready and preparing for my fade. My first guideline in this fade is going to be with my Babyliss Gold Effects trimmers, which is my bald line, and we're giving him a drop fade. So we're going to drop it down under the occipital bone in the back, as you guys seen me do, and we're going to make sure it's even on both sides. This is a drop fade. This is how you start off a drop fade. You want it to actually drop in the back, starting with your guidelines. Your guidelines is what make the drop fade. So if you drop the line, it's going to drop your fade. So right after setting in my ball line, I'm going to go in with my cordless Wahl Seniors, and I'm going to go up about 1/2 inch with the lever all the way open, and we're just going to make this an even guideline all the way around, staying parallel to the ball guideline. This is what's going to ensure balancedness throughout our fade. And right here, I'm going to close my clipper halfway closed, and we're going to go in and start the process of taking out this ball line, starting under the line and flicking up to the line. As you guys can see, the line is disappearing. I have the clippers halfway closed. Necessarily, you don't have to have it exactly halfway closed, but it's your preference, whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever works for you. So right after taking out the guideline, I'm going to go in with my Wahl cordless Seniors again with the number 1 guard on with the clipper all the way closed, and I'm going to go up about another 1/2 inch, and we're just going to be setting in this guideline all the way around the head, keeping it exactly parallel to the previous lines that we created because we want our fade to be balanced all the way around the head. So we want our fade to sit in the same exact areas all the way around the head. So if you were to look at the fade straight on, head on, like face to face, you would see the balancedness of the fade. You will see that the transitions transition in the same areas on both sides. One thing I want to clarify before we move on is when we were taking out the ball line, when I said your clippers doesn't have to be closed exactly halfway, I wasn't saying like literally, but it depends on the way that your clippers are zero gapped. So taking out that guideline might be different for you according to how your clippers are zero gapped. It might take a different position to take out that line. So we're just still going over this guideline in this area, making sure we got everything all leveled out. And right here, as you guys see, I had to flip the clippers upside down to cut it in a different direction because it wasn't cutting good and it was darker. But we want this whole fade to be balanced in the same length in each guideline. So after going in with my number 1 guard with the lever all the way closed, I'm going to go in with my half guard, which will take out the guideline that we left after going in with our number 1 guard closed. And to take out this guideline, we're starting under the guideline and we're flicking up towards the guideline so we can have a transition from shorter to longer. And we're not pushing the guideline up, we're actually flicking out, creating a transition, and we're creating that gradient from shorter to longer. So after we get this guideline situated, we're going to be starting our fading down process to fade the rest of this hair. We're not going to be creating any more guidelines. We're just going to be fading down and just meeting this area that we just worked on. So before we go in with our bigger guards and start our fading down process, we want to comb out the area that we're going to be fading in. So right after we get done combing it out, we're going to go in with my number 2 guard with the clipper all the way closed. Even though we went in with the number 2 guard already, it's good to go back and make sure that we cut everything even. And this is going to start our fading down process. So after going in with our number 2 guard to start our fading down process, we're going to come back with our 1.5 guard with the clipper all the way open. And we're going to go against the grain, going up about 1/2 inch right into the area that we faded the number 2 in. And we're going to walk down in this process. After we go in with my number 1.5 guard all the way open, we're going to close it and drop down a little bit lower. Every time we move shorter into this fade, we're going to be not going up as high in the fade. So once I go in with my 1.5 closed, I'm not going to go as high as I did with the 1.5. And right here, as you guys see with the 1.5 open, I'm not going as high as I was with the number 2 guard. So right now I have the 1.5 open, and as you guys can see, I'm taking shorter strokes, not going up as high as I did with my number 1.5 open, but around that same area, attacking that guideline. And we're just going to keep attacking the guideline until we get it faded all the way out. So right after going in with my 1.5 guard, I'm going to drop down to my number 1 guard all the way open. As you guys know, we haven't used the 1 guard open yet, but the reason we're doing it now is because we're creating the meeting point in between the number 1 guard closed, which we did before we did our fading down process, and we're blending it right into the 1.5 closed, because the 1 guard open is right in the middle of a 1 guard closed and a 1.5, and it makes a perfect blend. But in this haircut, he has a more coarse hair, so we have to do a little bit more work to get this fade looking better. So after going in with my number 1 guard all the way open, I dropped down and I closed the guard all the way. And right here, I'm just doing some detail work, hitting some dark areas that I previously did the number 1 guard closed in. Kind of just tweaking it a little bit as I go, taking hairs here, taking hairs there. It's going to create our blend, and it's going to make it lighter, and it's going to take out some bulk in this area because his hair is coarse. So we got to move the hair. But sometimes when you sometimes moving the hair, you have to go in with shorter guards because it just offsets it. So after we've mostly did as much as we can with the guards, I'm gonna go in and do a little bit of clipper over comb work. This is very good for blending in areas where you don't want to use your guard too much because you might cut too much hair. I love using the clipper over comb method because I'm in more control of what I'm cutting, and I know what I'm doing as I'm cutting. So right here, I'm going in with my number 1.5 guard with it all the way open, going with the grain, just cutting down the front of his lineup, preparing it for our lineup process. This right here removes bulk and makes it easier for your lineup to come out more crispier because you don't have too much hair in the way, and you can see what you're doing and set clean, precise lines. So right here, we're going to begin our lineup process. In this lineup, we're going to be giving him a sharp, clean, natural lineup with the razor. And also we're giving him a part in his head. So you don't want to miss that, how I do it. I'm giving him a part right in the middle of his head. On the left side, it's going to go in on the left side. So stay tuned for that, and I'll let you guys sit and watch. So right here is where I started my part. I kind of start in the middle, and I kind of just let the clipper glide slowly into the curve. And starting off, when I used to do curves, it wasn't good. I used to mess up, but now I kind of have kind of like a technique that I use, and I'm going in and doing it because you want them all to look the same. You don't want your curves to not look the same. So right here, I'm going to go in and do some more detail work with my guards. We're just about done with this haircut, but I wanted to make sure I at least put as much effort in it as I could to get it as best as I could look. He does have coarse hair, so it's kind of harder to work with. His hair grows in different directions and everything. So we're just going in and doing as much as we can to get this fade to come out the best it could be, and just really just bring this haircut to life, man. You know, like we said, we transformed them. Right now I'm going with the grain with a couple of my guards because going with the grain sometimes helps blend the sides with the top better than going in with guards against the grain, because you might just push this fade up way too high and you won't have any shape on the sides. So after doing detail work on the fade, we're going to be doing some detail work on the line and using my razor, getting it super sharp, super crispy as much as we can. And right here I'm adding some oil sheen, and we're going to be using the nappy brush, twisting it up, making this haircut pop even more. As you guys can see, we got him looking good. Look at this before. It was long, it was wild, but we got this man back in the game. YouTube, without further ado, this is the cut. Hope you guys like it. If you're new and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and check out some more dope tutorials I have on my channel. It's your boy Josh. Peace.